Hey guys, what's up? Lightning here with another Team Fortress 2 commentary. And today we are playing as the Heavy, with the Brass Beast, the Strange Festive Sandwich, and the killing gloves of not boxing, but the gloves of running urgently. And we are playing Man vs. Machine on this channel for the very first time. This is not a live commentary, although I did debate on making this a live commentary, but just because of the way this kind of came out, it probably would be better if I just post-commentated it. We are playing here on Decoy, the expert mode of Decoy, the 5th wave out of 7. So you'll be seeing the last 3 waves in this set of this MvM match that I did with a few people. A few people were on my friends list, a few weren't. But either way, I thought this was probably one of the best heavy MvM games that I have ever played. I apologize for the ding noise. I didn't really know I was going to be recording this immediately, so I kind of forgot to turn it off. But either way, I'm getting backstabbed by that spy. And right now we are fighting some giant quick fix medics, some giant deflector heavies, meaning your rockets and your grenades are pretty much going to be useless. And if you don't kill the medic immediately, he's going to pop quick fix Uber and pretty much heal off any possible damage. So this heavy's about to drop the bomb into the hole, and no, he does not get it. That was so close, actually. This game, I love this game mode. Man vs. Machine is by far my absolute favorite thing to do in Team Fortress 2. It is by far my favorite update ever introduced to this game. I just love Man vs. Machine so much. I know it gets stale sometimes because really the waves never change after you've done it once. But it's just so much fun. It's fun to challenge yourself. It's fun to try new loadouts. And I'm using the Brass Beast because this thing does a butt ton of damage. I mean, sure, the spin down time is really slow, and whenever you're whenever you're spinning down and shooting, you move at a snail's pace. But this gun is just so much fun to use on Man vs. Machine. So this won't really be a Man vs. Machine tips video because I don't really have too many tips to give for you. In general, Man vs. Machine. I have plenty of tips to give for class-specific Man vs. Machine, like tips for Scout, tips for Soldier, tips for Heavy, etc. But not really any general tips for just the game mode in general. Just keep the bomb away from the hole, really. That's pretty much your main objective. And these next 2 lives, would you believe me if I said I one-lifed it? Well, I sorta do. I pretty much do a butt ton of work here in a single life as the Brass Beast Heavy. Now our Scout is milking the giant robots with the Mad Milk. He has the upgrade so that he can slow down the robots with the Mad Milk. And if you don't know, the Mad Milk actually gives you health back with every hit that you do. So because I'm hitting these robots for so much damage, I'm getting so much health back, and this Scout is keeping me alive. The Soldier is popping Buff Banner, so I'm doing plus 33% damage. So, I'm being kept alive with the dispenser right next to me. The dispenser is giving me pretty much infinite ammo. I am pretty much the team's tank at the moment. I am the major damage dealer along with the sentry. And the team is pretty much supporting me at this point. Keeping me alive, keeping the sentry alive, keeping the dispenser alive. We have a medic that's actually healing me, and he has Kritzkrieg that he pops on me every now and again. And I know people say that medic is not good in Man vs. Machine, and I used to think the same, but I've been proven wrong so much recently. Honestly, if you're going to play a support class, know what you're doing, because the support classes really are hard to use in Man vs. Machine. From all the experience I've had with people playing the support classes, it really came down to who had the most experience with the class and who really knew what they were doing. If you're just playing Man vs. Machine for the first time, and you want to play Spy or Sniper on Expert, don't do it. Just don't do it. But if you main Sniper and Spy, and you've played plenty of Man vs. Machine matches as it, then give it a try. Most people are genuinely accepting. You might get kicked from a few matches, because that's just the way some people are. But I've recently been learning that when it comes to the support classes, I need to give people a chance, because I've been shocked time and time again If we had this conversation about 3 months ago, I would have said that Medic, Sniper, and Spy are completely useless. They have no place in Man vs. Machine. Don't choose them. I will kick you from my game. No, but all kidding aside, if we would have had this conversation 3 months ago, that's what I would have said. And here's exactly what I'm using on my Brass Beast. These are the upgrades that I have for this. So pause this if you want to. If you're having trouble with Heavy on Expert, and you want to use the Brass Beast, and copy these exact upgrades that I'm using, because this is the final wave. This is all the upgrades that I have upgraded throughout this adventure. So if you wanted to do that, go back, pause the video, look at that, and try to mimic that, because it worked pretty well for me. Of course, it all depends on your scout, the money getter, the money grabber, because the money buys you upgrades, so you need a good scout. In my opinion, scout is the most important support class in this. Pretty much my perfect MvM team is usually Pyro, Scout, Heavy, Engineer, Demo, sometimes another Heavy, Soldier, and debating sometimes Medic. Really, you don't want copies of the same class. I've learned that unless it's a Phlogistinator Pyro, a Demo, a Heavy, really you don't want to copy the same class. So if you see 2 Scouts on your team, don't go Scout. Unless you really want to, and the other guy in the other team is like, hey man, yeah sure, I'll go a different class. You can have Scout, sure, why not? But in any other situation, if you see a Scout on the team, don't go Scout. Don't go Soldier if we have another Soldier. Don't go Medic if you have another Medic. You get the point. So at this point, I'm still one-lifing this. I haven't died once since the beginning of round 6, and I'm feeling pretty proud of myself. We're taking out all these giants. These giants have about 5,000 health each. I believe we had to take down 24 giants in all. And if there's one general Man vs. Machine tip I can give, is have a good scout, because the scout needs to do a lot in Man vs. Machine. He needs to hit things with the Fan of War to give you mini crits. He needs to milk the giants so they slow down. He needs to hit the super scouts with the Mad Milk so they slow down and don't drop the bomb almost immediately. So have a good scout that knows what he's doing. Have a good Heavy that knows what he's doing. Have a good engineer that knows to put the dispenser with the Heavy to keep him going. It's all about teamwork, guys, and that's why I love Man vs. Machine so much, because honestly, I find Man vs. Machine to require more teamwork than the actual game does. And I find people are more willing to work together in Man vs. Machine than they are the actual game. And that's why I honestly love this game mode so much. It's honestly my favorite thing to do in this game. Even if I do repeat it more times than I probably should. So at this point, I'm almost afraid that my one-lifing is over, but I pop all 3 of my Uber canteens to keep me alive. My medic gives me the crits. And here we go, another buff banner. If I have any more tips for maybe like taking out tanks or something, use the Phlogistinator. The Phlogistinator does some massive damage to both giants and tanks. He is your definitive tank killer. So honestly, my preferred flamethrower for a Man vs. Machine is the Phlogistinator. If not, use the flamethrower. It's the best of both worlds. The degreaser doesn't do enough damage. The backburn doesn't have enough air blast potential. The flamethrower does more damage than any of the other flamethrowers combined. And it has the perfect amount of air blast. So if you don't want to use the Phlog, and you want to push their giants back, and you want to push the bomb back, use the flamethrower. Really, anything else is up to you. The other classes are pretty standard. Heavy, I would recommend not using something like the Natasha. Sure, slowing down the giants is great, but you have the scout for that anyway, and he does a much better job of that than Heavy ever would. And the minus damage that you do to these things is really not worth it, and it can seriously make or break your team when it comes down to last minutes. It's all about DPS, damage per second, and how much you can do to these robots and how fast. You see how fast we're doing all this damage to these guys? We have 1 giant left, 1 tank, and I believe this is time-based, because normally we have about 8 giants at this point, and the final tank comes out. But this time we only had 1 giant left, and the tank finally arrived, and the only thing we have to do to beat this round is destroy the tank. Unfortunately, I died to that soldier because I thought we were all done with them. I didn't realize the guy was going to pop around right behind me, and I died. So I almost one-lifed 2 full waves of a man versus machine expert, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And right now the only thing left is to take down the tank. At this point in the game, if the tank is the only thing left, get on it and just destroy that thing. So that's going to do it for this gameplay commentary. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll have more Team Fortress 2 commentaries in the near future. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, and that guy got a Carbonado Bot Killer minigun, by the way. Pretty cool.